Hey, y'all. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jen with Pleasantly Scattered. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I had another subscriber request. Makeup Again 561 requested a DIY tutorial of how to make those envelopes. So I thought I would jump in and craft a little bit with you. So again, if you get a bunch of mailers, just junk mail, you often see these and they often get thrown away. You can turn that into this. Now, you can cover it like I did, or you can take it apart and make it a template. I just found this template online, but I used a piece of cardboard from my leftover cardboard scraps because I keep wrappers, cardboards from packaging, all those things to either store more blank pages for sticker books, make templates. I could cover this side and make a dashboard. So I even showed one template, I think that was even the cover. Sorry, that was noisy. The cover from a scrapbook paper book that I finished up. So, like I said, you could take this apart and take your scrapbook paper and trace around it. Or you can just cover it. I have a ton of these, so I'm going to cover this one like I did here. So I just took my scrapbook paper and covered. So let's find a piece of scrapbook paper. Let's see, we might make one on my big planner. Ain't she pretty? So let's see here. Try to stay in frame in my squeaky chair. Sorry, guys. All right, so I just lined this up. Trying to stay in frame while still doing this, okay? I'm gonna zoom out just a little, just so I can make sure that I'm still in frame. And I like to use a pencil when I'm doing this. I just like to line up the corners and edges. There we go. And it may not be perfect, and that's okay. You can always trim around, cover it with a sticker. When I'm cutting straight lines, I like to use my big scissors. I do have a paper cutter, but I prefer not to use it on when I'm doing my scrapbook paper because maybe I need this strip and I've already cut off the square. So, am I in frame? Yeah. So, which may be the case, I gotta see how wide it is for the back side. Okay. So I'm just going to glue that down right on top. Let me get some better glue. This glue is not so good. There's something to be said about regular old Elmer's glue. I mean, so what you up to today? I just finished my workout. My husband is out working on the garage. He's brought up his workbench from downstairs so that he can work in the garage because we're in the process of moving our gym into his workshop. Yeah. So he's working on organizing all of his tools and getting those moved up. So that gave me more time to do some more filming. Ooh, clumpy glue. We're gonna have to smooth that out. And If I would have kept this shorter, I wouldn't have had all this excess glue, but that's okay, because it is just a DIY, but I am planning on using it. So I did not bring any tissues or napkins, so I'm going to use a scrap piece of just paper. I keep all of my scraps when I'm cutting on my cutting board, whatever. My paper cutter, paper trimmer. So you can smear this out a little bit more. And not have as much on your hands. Okay. So I'm going to take it and line up my corners. It should line up pretty closely. Pop that down. Okay, so I do have a little bit of edging, not much though. I did pretty good. All right, now here, this is what I was talking about. How wide is that? Is that gonna go close enough to me? So here's where I'm gonna go use my paper trimmer and actually trim off along the side. Actually, I'll bring the paper trimmer over. She's old school, y'all. She is old school. I can move this scrap piece of paper because hopefully I won't need it again. But she's old, but she does the job. So I take it up here and line up the bottom. Should be pretty close. Nope. Okay, pretty close. Let's see what we got, what we're working with. We got a little bit up here, but I am not worried about that. And this here, I may just take, I may cover that too, but I may choose a different color. I don't know yet. Have not decided yet. So I'm just gonna line this up. Zip across here. Go back to my paper cutter. Just go down that line. Okay, now I can do this. Now I could even cover here. If this had a point, you know what? We can still create a slit. It's not going to hold real well because it's not very long, but I could, but then you're going to see more of the white here. To do. Thinking about that stuff. All right, take my flat sides so that they line up better. Take another piece of scrap paper to lay under it so I don't get glue all over my table. Let's pull this down a little bit. So you do get the scratch noise, but you don't get as much clump if you only bring up just a little bit. Okay, set this aside. I need to take a wipe after my table here. Ooh. Look for the flat edge again. Okay, there's that. Now let me decide what I want to do with that lip. So I didn't even do anything with the lip. I just took scrap pieces there, but I think she's pretty. Now, do I just get some white out? That's too much. Do I make the whole thing this color? Wish you were here with me. You can tell me. Okay. And doing this on the back side of the paper, no harm, no foul, because you're not going to see it. You're going to glue it down. And I will likely put a sticker or something down towards the bottom so I can easily see where to lift from. Okay. And again, for minimal waste, and the great thing about a glue stick is it does adhere really well, but it also gives you a little bit of wiggle room for slide. I did cut it a little bit, but that's all right. Now, of course, if this had a major bold print difference, you'd be able to see a lot more of it. Blends well with this particular paper. With this one, if you had it different directions, it would, you got to take that into consideration. All right, so then I'm going to just punch right along here, and then I can sticker it up. So I'm gonna get my punch, move this scrap paper out of the way. Now I'm making sure to line up my holes. Okay, there we are. And then I can sticker it up with whatever decor or whatever. I haven't decided what I want to use it for yet. But if I pop that in my planner, so you don't have to buy the fancy plastic ones, and you can change it up month to month, whatever your feeling is, or have them popped in elsewhere. Say I wanted to keep a couple pages of stickers in here, and the scrapbook paper does make it sturdier, and then I can just flip it in and out. Now, if you have an envelope template or have printed one offline, you can just make your own. So I'm quickly going to show you, using scrapbook paper, how to fold it. So You would be surprised how many templates you can find online. But yeah, real quick, real easy, done. So here, this was a template. I took a previous envelope and just traced around, took it apart, opened it up. Let me take another one apart. Super easy to do. You just have to be gentle. So, you're just very gently going to pull the envelope apart. This side's not as nice. Now, I do encourage you to trace it down onto a piece of cardboard because it's so much easier to trace around and keep. But say you get a birthday card or whatever, keep the envelope and make yourself a template. Put it down on cardboard, trace around it. And I just keep this in a file folder. With other size templates. So then, taking any piece of scrap paper, I'm just going to trace around it. And I realize I am wasting quite a bit of this. This particular page has been used multiple times and I have several of them, so I'm not as worried about it. And these are going to be used for accents. I just knocked something off my table. And again, I'm not taking as much time on this as I would ordinarily. But for demonstration purposes, I wanted to show you. Yes, I'm aware I'm cutting across the notches. I'll cut those out in a second. For cutting straight lines, I do prefer using my large scissors because you can cover more territory with a straighter line. Okay, saving those scrap pieces, not getting rid of them because I will use them. And then taking a smaller pair of scissors. Rounding the corners. This one I will show you cutting the slit because it does have that. Okay. So this particular one, my advice on this one, if you take straight edge ruler and go to the corners, makes it super easy for the folds. Okay, so I would glue those down and then I will come in and make a slit. Now this is smaller. This actually will be perfect for my mini. Now, do I want to do those inside or those outside? I think I like the print better inside. So I'm just going to take some glue. It goes about this wide. Goes about that wide. Okay, and then let's go now you could even just go a little bit wider over here. There we go. So notice I just took my ruler, lined it up about where I wanted my slit, and made a slit. So again, we're going to take our punch, and remember to punch on the end that does not have the flap. And now I have one for my mini. Oh no, it's not in here. Well, where's my half letter's not in here either. Okay, so let's look at a mini. This is just a notebook, but boom, there you go. It's closed up. I hope you got something from this. I hope this helps. I know this is kind of a long video, but DIYs, you know, if you want the step-by-step, I'm here for it. Give me some suggestions down in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see. And again, thank you for stopping by. Give me a like, comment, subscribe even, and I will be happy to do more for you. Have a great day.